Hey, good afternoon, guys. Talk to the selection of Jalen here in a second. I just wanted to take a brief 30 seconds here to kind of explain this shirt. You guys have probably seen this across the league today as you've been watching the coverage. So this shirt's in loving memory of Coral Turpinning. You guys probably don't know that name. So Coral was the wife of Matt Turpinning. Matt's a longtime staple in the Indianapolis Scouts personnel department. I know Matt personally. I knew Coral personally, and she tragically passed away last week at the age of 45, leaving behind two daughters, Matt, and so we're kind of just rallying as a league to show support for Matt. It's a terrible thing. She was a really good person, and so that's just what this is. And so it's a nice opportunity for us to show our support for Matt, his family, and we'll be thinking about them moving forward. So with that, I'll take any of your questions with regard to our selection of Jalen Rivers. Yeah, Jalen, man, really impressive guy, very smart, physically gifted, versatile, has really played just about an equal share of his snaps at guard and tackle, oftentimes within game playing guard and tackle. So that versatility really speaks to the value I think he'll provide us at this level. Adding a super high character guy, great length, very good pass protector. Had him here in the building on a visit, and couldn't have been more impressed with him as a person.
How important is that versatility? Now you're double dipping at line. Like you have Dylan at left.
Sure.
And then finding something that can do a little bit.
I think versatility is always key there, and I think to your point, we've just added talent to that room. We've gotten better. We feel really good about that, and it is key that as you're adding guys who you expect to compete, potentially serve as depth pieces at least initially, that they have that versatility. And so Jalen has that, and it'll prove valuable for us.
Will he get his first practice reps or whatever at guard or tackle?
That remains to be seen. We'll talk about that internally and decide where we think his services serve us best. But we think he's got the chance to contribute at both spots in the NFL.
Yeah, this is an opportunity to get bigger and more physical. I mean, I know there's been talk about you guys wanting to get bigger and stronger.
Sure.
Zach had mentioned that in the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, certainly he gets us bigger and longer, and he's an excellent pass protector. You see that all over the tape. We think he's got potential in the run game. He's a solid run blocker. We think he's got a lot of room for growth there. And so, yeah, I mean, he helps us in a bunch of different spots moving forward.
How much do you, with your scouting background, enjoy this part of the NFL calendar? I mean, obviously every coach likes, the cross-check that you do with the scouts, the whole process, but given your specific background, do you really enjoy this process?
I do. It's a really welcome departure from kind of the routine of the season. So you go through the marathon of the NFL season, and I love that. We all, that's why I coach and I don't scout, right? I mean, I appreciate both sides of it. I love preparing for games and designing a game plan and teaching and all those things that go with the season. But it is a welcome departure from that, and the fact that I got, I came into the league doing that in Indianapolis, under Matt. That part of it is something I definitely do enjoy. You get to this stage, and I'm ready for it to be over, and I'm ready to get back to coaching.
Why the 30 visit? Did you not get a chance to meet with them at the Senior Bowl or wherever?
Our scouts met with him at the Senior Bowl. We didn't attend as coaches, and then we met with him in Indianapolis at the Combine. I think Mike McCarthy, met with him unofficially, and then had a chance to bring him in here. So a lot of different touch points. Very impressive guy, and so it wasn't like we brought him in because we had to check on his character. I mean, he passes that with flying colors. You're not going to find anybody says a bad word about the guy, and we experienced that firsthand here.
Having another guy who can play tackle, does that help Cody Ford kind of focus on guard right now?
Sure. I mean, again, yeah, I think that versatility will factor for us, and we'll get into the spring and we'll start to kind of see where the pieces fit and how it all works out. But it's only a positive, and how that relates to any specific individual, that remains to be seen.
There were some scouting reports that he could play all
You know, I wouldn't rule that out. I mean, I think of the 3 spots, that's probably third on our list of priorities. But in terms of the processing and the football IQ and the leadership and all the things that go with that specific position, I think he has those things. So I wouldn't rule anything out.
I don't know how much you guys as a staff meet where you're involved in the defensive meetings, but has there been anything that stood out to you from your standpoint about the way that Al has influenced this draft, given a lot of person on the defensive side of the ball?
I mean, you know, obviously they're separate tracks, right? And so you know, we don't spend time evaluating the defensive players. They don't spend time evaluating the offensive players. The one thing I'll say just wholeheartedly for Al is his approach to everything is so detailed, so disciplined, and their approach to the draft, that whole staff is exactly those 2 things: detailed, disciplined, enthusiastic. Find guys we have visions for, and then go pursue those guys. And so, just really looking forward to working with Al, and I think they'll do a great job over there.
Is it realistic to think that Jalen could maybe compete at right guard? Is that something?
Listen, I'm not taking anything off the table standing up here today. We added a really good player who's talented, who's big, who's tough, who's made of the right stuff. So those players tend to find a way to get on the field.
How much, and purposely by design, do you love that there's so much competition, not just at guard, but in all those back spots? Does it feel that wide open to you, and is that by design to turn that into as big of a competition as possible?
Yeah, listen, we feel great about where we are as an offense. If we were being self-critical, the area that was most readily available for improvement was in that room. And so we've devoted valuable resources to improving that room. And how that shakes out, I have no idea. But I know we got better.
How many hours of guard tape did you watch?
It was a good percentage of the overall tape that I watched. I struggle to put a number on it, but and it wasn't just me. I mean, Scott and Mike and Justin Riscotti had him watching some too. I mean, a lot of guys invested a lot of time in studying these players. So,
Did you watch any receivers?
oh, of course, like it's my job, man. I don't have many hobbies.
I don't know how much focus, when you do focus on an area like that, how
Yeah.
much the other one falls out a little
Well, I can say this, just my background being what it is, the studying of the skill position players, and this has always been true for me, comes a little more naturally, so you still put the work in, but you kind of find the words to describe these guys and a little bit quicker, whereas I enjoy evaluating the linemen, but I have to really focus, it's just like anything. I didn't grow up playing that position. It's the furthest thing from what I played and how I learned the game. But I do enjoy doing it, and I spend a lot of time on it, yeah.
When I look at the offensive linemen that you guys have drafted, the big thing that's brought up is pass protection.
Sure.
Both guys.
Yeah.
How do you go about evaluating that? Obviously, college versus pro is really, it's tough to
Yeah.
look at and say.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're looking for traits. You're looking for length is huge. You're looking for play demeanor. You're looking same things I touched on last night, right? The ability to anchor, set a firm pocket, set width to the pocket on the perimeter. How do they react laterally when having to counter, the moves of the rusher? It all blends together, and we think we added 2 guys in that room that are going to be good NFL pass protectors.
Can you take us, we haven't had a chance to ask you about Lucas Patrick.
Sure.
And since we're talking about the battle that's going to be at guard, can you just go through where you see it with Lucas, Cody, and Jalen, and I guess Cordell would be in that conversation?
Yeah, no, Lucas is a guy we identified early on in the free agency process. We did our research on him. We heard tremendous things about him as a leader. We have guys on our staff now that have coached on teams that Lucas has been a part of, and they raved about him from that standpoint. And then, again, we evaluated his tape from last year. He's a guy who's played all 3 interior spots. He was a good pass protector last year. He produced in that phase last year. And so we just thought we had a chance to add somebody that provides versatility and will compete. So, again, just like we talked about last night, Cody, Lucas, Cordell. Now, obviously, the addition of Dylan and Jalen, there's a lot of talent there, and we'll be very targeted with how what we asked each of those guys to do, how we set up the competition, so that ultimately we're gonna end up with a really good starting five.
Did you hear anything about Jalen's relationship with Cam Ward?
With Cam Ward,
Yeah.
they didn't come up too much in our process, other than talking to all the people in Miami again. Like, this is a dude that he's an A character. You're not gonna find anybody that say anything bad about him. That was good. All right, thanks, guys. Yep.